Hey, Tim. So here is part two on our minor scale video. Um, we did our basic minor scale. Let's review that in A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. We're going to do what's called the pentatonic scale quickly. Octave, oct meaning 8, penta meaning 5. So while your octave scale, which is basically how Western music is notated, has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pentatonic only has 5, and then the octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a lot of like Asian, East Asian, and African styles also use this kind of pentatonic scale. And don't have the second and the sixths that we use in our Western notation. They use what would be the 1, the minor third, so A, C, the 4th, D, E, the minor 7th, and then back to the octave. 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, which is much simpler than your full octave scale. You're missing 2 notes there. Versus both scales are good to know. The pentatonic is kind of like the weaker version. You want to know the full octave range, obviously. But if somebody says, "Oh, it's just an A pentatonic scale, don't worry about it," then you'll say, "Oh, that's fine. Okay, here's your A." Which is what is that? That's Led Zeppelin. How many more years? Or let's just play it in B. We'll blues it up. Born Under a Bad Sign, Albert King and Jimi Hendrix. Which, as you heard, we're lacking the second and the sixth. And what that means is that you can kind of play, as a guitar player, as a lead player, or playing lead bass, you can kind of play either major or minor over them. Even though it has the minor third instead of the major third, you can still play that note and get a really weird kind of effect, which sounds great in like blues and rock and jazz, which I can't play too well because I'm not a jazz bass player, but if I could, it would sound great. So there's your second lesson, pentatonic scale. And as you're playing and counting off the minor scale, also just keep in mind how important these notes are. Like I said, Mars Volta, Cicatraz ESP, or the solo and Take the Veil at the end of that album. A million Flea bass lines, just follow that. As you can see, they don't have a lot of those extra notes, so the guitar is free to play over what Flea is playing. So that's 5 times fast, and kind of gives a little more freedom to the band. So there's your minor scale. And since you did the major scale awesomely, I trust that you've learned that already by now, so I can discuss a little more complicated stuff. And this is going to be on modes, what's called playing in modes, modal music, which is really, really simple, but also really, really difficult. People can study it for years, write your PhD on it and all that stuff. Like all music theory, super complicated, but it's just a nice way of saying scales. It just means in the same scale as something else. Don't let it intimidate you if you ever hear somebody say it. And your basic example, I said in the last video how F sharp minor and A major were the same scale. And A minor and C are the same scale, C major, both of which have only natural keys, no sharps or flats. So your A minor, as we've done a million times, C major is, which is the exact same note, just played starting and ending in different intervals. So here's your E major scale. I'm sorry, E minor scale. E minor. Your G major scale is the same note. It's a third and a sixth away. That's going to be your interval. So from the A minor, your C is your minor third. From the E minor, your G is your minor third. From your D minor, your F is your minor third. And all across the neck, you can work that out. Vice versa, from C, A is your major sixth. And from G, E is your major sixth, which happens to fall nicely as or. 3 to open. For F sharp and A, it's going to be 2 and 5. For D and F, it's going to be 5 and 8. And what that means is that if you're playing something in C major, you can also play your A minor scale, which is nice because it means that the two kind of work together. You have a little bit more vocabulary to work with. There was a major riff and a minor riff in that same thing. You can hear the difference in the two. Here comes minor. The minor, as I keep saying, is a little more ominous, a little darker than the major scale is. Now, our best example for this that I want to use is going to be My Girl. I have a tablature in front of me. You can download it also. I recommend it to everybody as one of the first songs to learn on bass. And it's going to be in A minor, but it's also in C major. So you can play either chord over it, or you can play both over it, and it'll have a different sound the way you play it, the way you call the root note. So it's played in C first. C, we're going to start off on the 8th fret. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. But wait a second here. I mean, we just played. That's the A minor scale. So we're playing it in C. We're also playing it in A minor. And it also works in F, which is the 4th. That's not in tune, but you get the idea. Now, where can we go with this? Well, with these two working so well, C and A, we're also going to throw in the 4 and the 5. So once again, we have our 1, 6, 4, 5 progression. In C, the one in D that I loved. With this, we're going to do the 1 as the C. Then we're going to play the 5, the G. We're going to move it up to the 3rd fret of this. Then we're going to do the A, the open 3rd string, and then the F, 1st fret. So the 1, the 5, the 6, and the 4. 1, 5, 6, 4, not 1, 6, 4, 5, 1, 5, 6, 4. This is going to be, I remember. No, sorry. I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown. It's also going to be, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. It's also going to be, can you feel the love tonight? What else we got? Well, I guess this is growing up. Well, I guess this is growing up. Just a small town girl living alone in the world. Took a midnight train going anywhere. And that's just going to be C, G, A minor, F. 1, 5, 6, 4. But we can play that as the C or as the A. And it's a different way of playing that scale, but we have the same exact notes. So try to, once you have your major and minor scales down, in pentatonic and in full octave form, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there we go. That A minor scale also played as C major. And let's do it from from E minor to G. You play it across the neck. F sharp to A. This is going to be, no, you don't have to live like a refugee. Don't have to live like a refugee. That's why I didn't sing in the band, and you did. But that's a great thing to learn, how those major and minor scales intertwine with each other. And I want you to play your scales, major and minor, but know both forms of them. Know that if you're playing in C, you're also playing in A minor. If you're playing in F, you're also playing in D minor. And kind of think of it both ways. In this practice, we have already our 2, 3, 3. And we have our 3, 3, 2. Which are great left hand finger exercises. This is more kind of cerebral. This is more of your brain anticipating, okay, it's C to A minor key change, which is going to be, like I said, hallelujah. I heard there was a sacred chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really listen to music, do ya? Which is just C, A minor, F, and G. And now you know, okay, cool, I can play that as C, or I can play it as A, or I can play it as F, or I can play it in G. Any of those keys will work. Good exercise for the brain to work off of. You have So Fresh and So Clean to get your funk down. You have your scales to get your left hand down. Now you have a brain exercise to get your theory down also. Getting theory is super important for playing live, for improvisation, for everything, just for knowing music. I skipped it my first couple of years. Miles knew nothing about it. Kyle has learned a million things about it from Paul since Fanon, and it shows in Kyle's music. He really knows his stuff now, and it's great. And I'm trying to learn it, and what can I say? I'm still trying. Hope you enjoyed the lessons, dude. Take care, and I'll see you soon.